So now let's learn about Git submodules. Git submodules allows us to include another Git repository as a subdirectory within our own repository. And it is useful for managing external dependencies or including separate projects within our project. If we want to add a submodule, we can run this command git submodule add and the repo URL. And if we want to update our submodules, then we can use git submodule update -- remote, right? So let me show you one example. So let me go to my repo. This is my repository, my blog post repository. So if you can see here, I have this pratapsharma.io and also I have this blog post. So I'm using this blog post, which is another repository, as a submodule in this repository. Okay. So this basically means that I am using this blog post repository as a submodule in this repository, and whatever changes I've made here, I can use it in this repository. Cool, right? So to add a submodule, you can say git submodule, and then we can add our repo URL. So let me just give an example. So currently we don't have a submodule here, right? So I can say git submodule add. So let me add one repo URL, right? For example, let me add this repository as a submodule, right? So I can say git submodule add and the URL. So you can see when I add this as a submodule, it will clone that particular submodule. And you can say, if I check my folder now, you can see I have this OpenTelemetry as a submodule now, right? I can go into this OpenTelemetry. I can access the files, and then now I can use all these files as a module in my Git tutorial now, which is cool, right? And let's say there's some changes in this OpenTelemetry repository, like a developer A go and make some changes there. I need the latest change here. So to do that, I can use this git submodule update -- remote. Okay. So these are the few Git tips I want to provide to my students or to my viewers. So the first tip is use meaningful commit messages. So the commit messages should convey the real message, what exactly the developer did in that particular commit. So if you made changes to the file, so then mention what exact changes you have done there. If you have deleted a file, then you can say file A was deleted. If you made some changes, then please use a meaningful commit message. And regularly commit and push changes. Why? Since we're using an electronic device, then it is very uncertain that it will always work. So there may be some cases when the machine may crash or power cut may occur and so on, right? So in that case, regularly committing and pushing the changes will help you stay up to date, and in terms of any consequences, our data will be protected and it will not be lost. And the third tip is to collaborate and communicate with your team. The more you collaborate with the team and communicate with the team, then the less problem you will face or the less hassle you will face. And Git is your safety net. So experiment without fear. So now I was experimenting with by adding a submodule. So it doesn't really happen. Now I can simply go and remove this folder. Then everything will be back to normal again, right? So experiment without fear.